This is the sport of the 70s. So settle back and get ready for 1 hour of excitement. From the Civic Center, Hammond, Indiana, over the special Pioneer Roll the Derby Network. How you doing, everybody? Chet Kopic along with Jerry Seltzer. An interleague scramble, to say the least. The Chicago Pioneers, the pride and joy of roller derby, versus Danny Riley's Renegades, an awesome assemblage from roller game. Jerry Seltzer, Pioneers on top so far through 8 games, 5-3. Who knows what'll happen tonight, but we guarantee one thing, plenty of rugged action.
Well, of course, tonight, we do know there is a game in Lockport. Today's game is a very exciting one here at the Hammock Civic Center. And the Renegades are leading 3-1. And look out! We got the big one coming out, Joan Weston, the captain.
There goes the Golden Girl. Keep in mind, tomorrow night they skated out at the Chicago Amphitheater. Know you want to be there. Hey, oh, brother. First period, we got something going. There you see her, 17 times an All-Star. Joni Weston, the blonde Amazon. 5-9 white numerals emblazoned in red. Correction, emblazoned in white on the back of a red and blue Pioneer uniform. Going to work in a defensive capacity, number 8. Weston's chief adversary, Antoinette Tonette, call me the body Cattermas. Action all over the track and roll, and Weston has scored. Waiting for the determination, 2 points. 2 points for the Chicago Pioneers. We are knotted up. Under 5 minutes remaining. First period of play in Hammond. 3-all. Jerry?
Well, I'll tell you, we really got some. Today's game, of course, you're seeing we got some great action coming up tonight. Fans out in Lockport, Joliet Way. Romeoville High School in Lockport, the only game scheduled out there. Pioneers and Renegades, we understand there are a lot of good seats remaining. Tomorrow, 6 p.m., and that's an early game tomorrow at the amphitheater. Kids' prices, bring the whole family. You're going to get out early, and you're going to see 2 match races. Joan Weston taking on Tonette, Miss Tonette, in a 4-lap blocking match race. And Bob Hine, seeking to avenge Ronnie Robinson's loss last Saturday to Danny Riley, will meet the big man, Danny Riley, in a 6-lap blocking match race. And we do want to say, Ronnie Robinson should not have skated that race, Chet, because you know he was injured. And look at these two. They can't wait till tomorrow evening.
For the benefit of identification, little Jackie Garello, number 56 for the Pioneers, a great jamming threat at all times. Not in uniform this evening. She's bothered by a hamstring.
They're Tonette and Joan going at it back in the pack.
So here we go. This series has been brutal, to say the least. It has been absolutely as physical as anything on the bank track you could ask for. The Pioneers representing roller derby. Danny Riley's Renegades, the powerhouse from roller games. There you see it going on right on your screen. Number 58, the counterpart to Joan Weston on the Pioneers, big Darlene Forbes. Red hair, a reddish kind of temper. She's an Irish girl, loves to dish it out. Antoinette going high. She has moved through, and we have got some points coming up on this particular play. As has been tradition in this series, the Renegades have been jumping out to early leads. 4 points on this play. Jerry Seltzer, as I was saying, the Renegades in this particular series have seemed to be able to gain the upper hand early in every event.
Well, the Pioneers have come back in each game. Some they haven't come back enough, but they are leading the series, and it's a wild one. Of course, we mentioned Chicago. Lucky we feel to be the home of the Pioneers. The Pioneers happy to represent Chicago. And the first 2 games in the amphitheater, Chet, averaged some 8,500 fans. I would have to say that that's probably a great turnout for what you might say a relatively new team.
A tremendous tribute to the fan response to roller derby. You fans watching back in Chicago right now on good old Channel 32, WFLD, tomorrow night in the amphitheater, baby, are they going at it. All right, back to action here in the Hammond Civic Center for the Renegades. Number 4, down go 3 skaters. I was all set to identify number 4 in the lighter jersey as being Debbie Douglas. Now we have skaters back up and on their feet. That's Forbes. She has the dark helmet on. She is operating in a jamming capacity, something she may do once skaters have up the pack, and Darlene Forbes puts it together.
Look at those fans.
The expression on Darlene Forbes' face tells the story. Jerry Seltzer, all grins. Pioneers back on the offensive.
Right, they only trail by 1, 7-6. Of course, we're at the Hamming Civic Center, and there are a lot of high school games played here. And as we mentioned tonight, we're at Romeoville High School in Lockport. And if you would like to have a roller derby game scheduled in your area, and you have a gym at a high school or college or an arena that seats about 2,500 people or more, write to Roller Derby Bookings, P.O. Box 1827, Oakland, California. That's the information you see on your screen. If you will write there, you will get information back on how you can have a game in your city. Tonight, Ernie Simo, the athletic director at Romeoville High School there in Lockport, expects a big turnout. And by the way, if you're anywhere around Chicago, Lockport, Joliet, get out to that game tonight in Romeoville.
This game is excitement. It's speed. It's physical. It has everything you can ask for. That's why they're calling it the sport of the 70s. Renegades, roller game. Pioneers, roller derby. There you see Miss Tonette, Antoinette Kettermas, the pride and joy, the distaff champion of roller game. Joan Westbango! Woo! Up high with the knee. Tremendous punishment. Golden Girl going to work. Oh! 1, 2. Bango! Weston going to work Monday night, fight night. Frazier, Foreman, going at it in Kingston.
Tonette said no more, and she called it off. The lead jammer made any time call it off, and she did. Here she comes after Joe. Oh, look out. These two girls going at it tomorrow night. Well, at any rate, that is the end of the first period, Chet. With the score, the Renegades 7 and the Pioneers 6. We'll be back in just a moment.
Second period of play, back we are. Chet Kopic along with Jerry Seltzer, roller derby. Renegades 7, Pioneers 6. As I was saying earlier, Jerry Seltzer, Monday night fight night. Heavyweight championship of the world on the line. Champion Joe Frazier, Smoking Joe, versus challenger George Foreman. I'm willing to bet you, with all the heavyweight title fights I've seen, they won't come anywhere near emulating the action these fans back on 32 are seeing today.
If you really look at it, the fans pay a lot of money to see those big prize fights, and they always get cheated. But of course, they never get cheated at roller derby, where there's always great action.
Speaking of people who are tremendous, Jerry Seltzer, let's talk about our good friend.
He's looking here, and we want to thank Bert Wyman, who brings these telecasts to all the fans in the Chicago area. And we know if you want to buy a Ford or just get a car, you'll drop in to Bert Wyman and say, thank you for roller derby, because it's his support that keeps it on the air, and all he asks you to do is come in when you're thinking about buying a car and give him first crack at it.
Your TV Ford man bringing you roller derby. A great fellow, Bert Wyman, 3535 North on Ashland Avenue. There you see number 52, the Hummer, Johnny Harmata. Looks like he ought to be from Nebraska. All-time country boy type of kid, real nice young fellow.
Score remains the same, 7-6. And we mentioned that big game tomorrow night. And by the way, at halftime, coming up in a little while, you got a big interview coming up, Chet. Joe Weston and Miss Tonette are going to talk about their match race tomorrow night with you. Now, you almost got punched by Danny Riley last week. Are you afraid of Miss Tonette?
I don't know if that's the accurate word, Jerry Seltzer, but to say the least, Antoinette Tonette, call me the body Kettermas, got to be one of the most explosive people in all of sports, a tremendous personality, one of the really colorful individuals in this sport particularly. Back we are, action, roller derby. Number 53, Eddie Hessen, Pistachio, just like Scopas. The big guy is out now for the Renegades. Men's captain got the grin on his face. Danny Riley down, he goes. Nicky Scopas. Nicky Scopas, who prepares 54 great distance, does the job on Riley. Now Riley, of course, with the black jamming helmet, correction pivot helmet, must maintain a defensive stance. He's going to work on Eddie Hessen. Up goes the elbow once, twice. Hessen a little bit dazed. Riley got the headlock on.
Oh, that's illegal. Look at him looking for a penalty.
Oh! And we have a call. We have got a call.
They're calling it on Dallas Everett, I'm sure.
A 1-minute penalty on Dallas Everett. For the benefit of you fans.
Look out, there's Ronnie Robinson. Tonight, of course, we said Lockport game in Romeoville. And remember, you're seeing the roller derby games on this Pioneer Network the same week in which they're skated. So these are current games.
Oh, over here in the infield. Look at Danny Riley.
Riley knocking down all the Pioneers. And a 1-minute penalty on Riley. He's meeting, of course, Bob Hine tomorrow night in that big match race. Also next Wednesday in Hammond, here comes Bob Hine. Let's get this one. Bob Hine, who meets Danny Riley at 6 p.m. in that early family game tomorrow at the amphitheater. Bring the whole family out. Kids are half price, as we said before. Game starts at 6. They'll be home by 8:39. 2 match races tomorrow. This Tonan against Joe Lestons. 4 laps blocking. Second race. 6 laps blocking. Bob Hine and Danny Riley. Get your tickets at Ticketron today. Stop in and see Ed at Ticket Central 300 North State Street in Chicago. He'll give you good seats.
A lot of mail in this week on rules. Now, for the benefit of some of you fans, as we watch John Harmata moving out on the jam, who might be in clear on several rules, here's a couple of simple ones to keep in mind. If a skater's penalty time overlaps into the following period, any member of the opposite sex taking the track must serve out the remaining penalty time. Also, no more than 2 players on each side may be in the penalty box at any one time.
John Harmata couldn't hold it there. He almost did, but he finally fell.
Going against a toughie, Mike Otomy, the long tresses, longest hair of any male man in the game of roller derby. Bald Eagle, Bob Hine, late season edition for the Chicago Pioneers. Hine going to work on Otomy. Out comes John Early. Ooh, he is up and over but maintains. Now we got, now Riley going to work again on Ronnie Robinson. And he lowers the boom on Bob Hine.
That Riley is a wild man. He may get thrown out of this game, Chet. I don't know. You know, we've had a lot of comments this week, mainly about the training school. And we are looking for one. I know you've got something on that later. But I'd like to tell people, Chet, if they have a question, not about Danny Riley, which we can't answer because he belongs to the roller game. If you have a question about roller derby you'd like answered, write to Chet Kopic, and that's the correct spelling there, care of NES, 300 North State Street, Chicago, Illinois. We'd like to hear what you think about these new weekly Pioneer telecasts. And remember, on many cities along the Pioneer Network, you are seeing the Pioneer telecasts the same week it's being skated.
Jerry Seltzer, what say we have a contest to guess the nationality of Chet Kopic's name? I'll give you a hint. It's not French. All right, number 57, Bob Hine. Out on the track right now for the Pioneers. They are -2 skaters. Robinson, Tony Smith, Bob Hine in the penalty box, Dick Skopas and John Early. Renegades with 4 skaters out on the track right now. One of them right there in the light jersey is Jimmy Nolan. As I said last week, looks an awful lot like Jerry Lucas, the great center forward of the New York Knickerbockers. Who knows, though, Jerry? We haven't gotten that Vitalis commercial yet, but maybe one of these days. Tony Smith, striped helmet, jamming capacity, number 56. If you're watching in color, the beautiful Chicago Pioneer red and blue uniforms. Tomorrow night in the amphitheater, you gotta be there. Baby, it is gonna be something. Weston, Cattermas, 6 laps blocking match race. Nolan going to work. Robinson putting him in the cradle. Putting him in the cradle. Rock my baby home tonight.
That has to be penalty, but I think it gave Ronnie a lot of satisfaction. And here go the Pioneers. Look at them.
Jerry Seltzer, the Pioneers have scored. We'll have to wait for the determination. The Pioneers have scored. Smith off the whip.
Tony Smith.
Working through. Down. He hits that track, and that track is not like falling in a pool of water. You're hit down. That hurts.
There are 3 points out there. The Pioneers have taken the lead 10-7. By the way, there are rules in this game. We'd like to tell you how to get a free copy of the rules. And
just over 4 minutes remaining. Second period of play. Hammond Civic Center. Roller Derby's latest hotbed. Score: Pioneers 10, Renegades 7. Jerry Seltzer, that gives you and I the opportunity to have a couple of funnies if we want. We're leading right now.
That's right, and that hasn't happened too often in this series. The Pioneers are getting stronger each game. I think the fans can see it, and they can say this is a great team for Chicago. We'd also like to mention these other upcoming games in the area. The Pioneers and Renegades end their series this week, of course, tomorrow at the amphitheater. Wednesday, that's next Wednesday at 7:30 at Hammond. There are also games with the Pioneers and John Parker's Hawks. In Kenosha, Carthage College on February 10th, Mont Prospect on February 12th with our good friend Sammy Scoble. Polar Dome in East Dundee on February 16th, and in Elk Grove on February 20th. Tickets for all these games are available at the places named and at Ticketron. Be sure and see a roller derby. Be sure and see the Pioneers, support them. Make sure they stay in the Chicago area and are not sent to Oakland.
Number 8, that is Danny Riley, men's captain. Coach Danny Riley's Renegades of roller game. Took the good belt right there. That's Johnny Early. Pioneers looking to increase their lead.
They got Riley in trouble back there. Riley was suckered. He was suckered for a point, and these fans love it. Look at these fans. Chet, there are rules in this game, I understand, Chet.
For your free copy of the Roller Derby rules, send a postcard. That's all you do to Rules, Roller Derby, Post Office Box 1828, Oakland, California, 94604. Include zip code number and the station on which you are now watching this program. It's a handy little item to have around, especially when you're watching telecasts. Roller Derby, a very simple game. That was the title of the best-selling book. Get your copy. You'll love this game. Give it a chance, baby. It's going to grow on you. There you see it. Riley had the headlock on Bob Hine. Out on the jam, number 2, light jersey, Dallas Everett Renegades. Right behind him, Eddie Hess, Mustachio. Down he goes for the Pioneers. Renegades with the advantage. Moving out right now to join Everett. That's number 6, Solon McNair. Yellow jamming helmets with the red. Oh, look at the pack. The pack is down. Our director, Jim Holmes, says the pack is back, but we aren't talking about Dan Devine's crew. We're talking about roller derby. Jerry Seltzer, what's the referee's determination? We may have to get out the adding register.
Well, as you see, we got confident. We said the Pioneers had a big lead. They lost 8 points on that play. They trail now 15-11. You know, we mentioned the last game of the Pioneer Renegades series in Chicago is tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Before the Pioneer games in Chicago, you can join a very exclusive club and have a fabulous dinner at the world-famous Stockyards Inn. This great $10.95 package includes a $5 trackside ticket for the game, a steak dinner, tax and tip included, free parking in the amphitheater. Tomorrow's game is 6 p.m. Come at 4 p.m. for dinner. We're going to give you a phone number later on how you can get this later in the game, but tomorrow evening at 4 o'clock, you'll meet Joan Weston at the Stockyards Inn, and here goes Nick Scopus with only 35 seconds to go.
A great dinner roller derby package at the amphitheater tomorrow. Oh, baby, is that going to be something? There you see little Nicky Scopus. Number 50 prepares 74 different lamb dishes. He's a Greek, loves to drink. Down goes Riley. Woo! Ronnie Robinson taking out the lumps.
I think we ought to watch Danny Riley down here. I don't think he's going to take this line down.
By the way, on that 1 point Pioneers,
shot.
And Bob Hine gets his opportunity. He takes advantage. The period is history.
Well, that's it. We'll wait just a second. No, I think they're separating them. That's the end of the second period with the score, the Renegades 15, the Pioneers 12. Let's have this word for Bert Weinman Ford. Why is it we always show a baby before you're going to give our crew credits?
Why can't we ever have a cute girl who's around 22 or 23? Jim Holmes, our version of the sensuous director, handling it as usual, along with technical supervisor Dick Purrier, production manager Dick Miller, video man Vern Blakely, audio Dwayne Schoonover, switcher Russ Hunt, associate director Phil Doty, good buddy Phil Doty, camera Ronnie Kordick, Alex Hager, Dick Brandell, stage manager Dick Zorowick, stagehand Bobby Walker, Billy Stryevsky. Back we are to action. The Civic Center.
Oh, Debbie
Hammond,
Joe.
Indiana. Renegades, a 3-point margin. They are on top 15-12. Debbie Show, Korean girl, number 57. Numerals partially hidden by the long, dark dresses. Giving the whip to the big, blonde Amazon. Oh, the reversal. Oh, goes Debbie Show. She has picked up 1 point, and there goes Weston.
Oh, look at these two. Oh, they're gonna settle it tomorrow night at the amphitheater for sure in their big 4-lap blocking match race. And of course, Chet, you'll be talking to them right at the end of this fourth period of this game. And tomorrow, of course, they'll see the second half of this game.
Jerry Seltzer, the rivalry that has developed between Weston and Cattermas has been nothing short of fierce. A very physical, angry type of rivalry. Tomorrow night, I urge fans to get out there early. It's got to be 6 laps of absolute dynamite. There you see her, Antoinette, Call Me the Body, 23 years old, blonde hair, good-looking little girl. Baby, is she tough on the bank track. Tremendous skater, excellent body control, loves to dish it out, willing to take it. The big girl right there on your screen, moving in to your middle of your picture, that is Patty Cabin, numeral number 1.
She's about 200 pounds.
She reminds me of Jackie Gleason, Jerry Seltzer from the old Honeymooners series, but I don't think Cattermas quite fills the role of second banana the way Art Carney used to. All right, Debbie Douglas, striped jamming helmet, moving out, long and lean. Can't go more than about 120 pounds. Got to go about 5'8", 5'9", with the skates around 5'11". Later on in this telecast, we'll tell you all you need to know about big things coming up in roller derby. A lot of fan questions we want to answer. Many fans curious about the training school. A kiss goes to the crowd from Antoinette. Darlene Forbes, pivot skater, 5'8", going to work, big and husky. Mismatch physically. Forbes gives up a little bit in terms of speed. Darlene with the elbow. 1 point scored already by the Renegades. Lana Kasanovic down and was passed. There in the pack, Forbes. Jerry Seltzer, Darlene Forbes has taken a considerable amount of punishment during this series. And as we bring you up to date right now, the Renegades, 3 points on that jam. Jerry, their margin now 5. Pioneers trailing, Renegades 18, Chicago Pioneers 13, less than 9, third period of play in Hammond.
There goes Patty Cabin. Darlene Forbes got a little bit of revenge back there, and I think Patty's coming after her. Darlene is not a small girl, but next to Patty Cabin, anybody looks small. Look out. Good shot of Darlene Forbes being knocked down. A good shot of that huge crowd here at Hammond, but we have a large building. We can see about 5,000 people, and there, Joan Weston leveling Patty Cabin. She's going to get this whole Renegade team. She can't wait to get Miss Tonette out there alone tomorrow night on the amphitheater in Chicago.
The fans love it in Hammond. We're at the Civic Center. Chet Kopic, Jerry Seltzer, bringing it home to you. Hope you're enjoying it.
Of course,
Patty Cabin, number 1, who, by the way, has a movie to her credit. Jerry Seltzer, she was one of the stars in Kansas City Bomber, the movie which was not exactly a critical success over the summer, but at the box office, which is where they take the big count, baby, that movie was filling houses.
It sure was, and as you see, Patty right there all by herself fills a house.
Hardly Raquel Welch, but she's a big instrument for these Renegades. Vicky Steffi, number 3, light jersey, Renegades. One of their major jammers. She's followed by the little ebony star, Rena Williams. Under 5 feet. If she weighs 100 pounds, I'll eat my hat. She is really tiny. Both girls are for that reason. There you see them in your picture. We don't miss a play. We have the best crew in the country.
Fans, Chet going, go, go, go. These Pioneer fans are too much.
They're in love with the Pioneers. Come on out tomorrow night. Get the go, go chant going in the amphitheater. We got to cheer Joni Weston home against Cattermas. Rena Williams.
Oh, that looked illegal. They have
right
to call
hand,
a penalty.
see the penalty.
They have to call a penalty.
We'll have 1 minute coming up. Williams up and over. Just like a young child frolicking in the grass, going with leapfrog. Woo! 1 point. 1 point, Pioneers.
Oh, we missed that. Joni tripped her as she came by. She reached out her helmet and just tripped her, and Joni was not caught, I don't think.
There is a portrait of perhaps the greatest female skater the game has ever known. But like every other skater, sometimes she goes down and she is prone.
Well, we got all kinds of signs out here. I know a lot of fans are going to bring them out in Lockport tonight. Remember, that big game gets underway at 8 o'clock tonight at the Romeoville High School in Lockport. Get out and see it. You're also helping Lockport and Romeoville High School. After the next jam, I think we'll tell you a little bit about that big dinner tomorrow night at Stockyards Inn.
Halfway mark of the third period. Renegades 18, Pioneers 14. Plenty of action coming up. Hope you're enjoying it. couple of skaters with pivot skating helmets on. They are Black Catamus going to work on Darlene Forbes. Woo! This is classic. This is what this game is all about. Forbes going to work. Up high with the elbow. Bingo! Oh!
Miss Tonette is taking a beating here today.
And the vocal cords of this assemblage in Hammond are getting a workout. They love every moment of it.
You know, it's so much fun to come to a roller derby game. You sit with your fans and you cheer. You know, sometimes you get a football game that's a real bummer, like the Super Bowl, where the fans paid $15 and I feel got cheated. I thought it was a terribly dull game. You come to roller derby, look what a great time you have.
A game that's built up as the second coming of Christ, or maybe the Last Supper. Every year they build up the Super Bowl. Every year, with the possible exception of the year Namath turned the trick, it has never been anything more than a yawner. Roller derby? Always excitement. You'll get your money's worth. Popular prices in effect. No points. There you see the hands outstretched. Making the safe sign just like a big league ump. No points.
I think Miss Tonette got another penalty. We want to tell you, before the Pioneer Games in Chicago, we're going to have that fabulous dinner, as we said, at the world-famous Stockyard Inn. This great $10.95 package does include a $5 trackside ticket for the game, a steak dinner, tax and tip included, free parking in the amphitheater lot. Tomorrow's game is at 6 p.m. If you'll call this number right now for reservations, come at 4 o'clock for dinner, meet Joan Weston. She will be on hand. For your dinner reservation for the special Pioneer package, call this number right now, 927-5580. That's 927-5580. Seating is limited. Almost 200 fans are going to be there tomorrow already. You also make reservations now for Sunday, February 4th, game of the amphitheater between the Pioneers and the Hawks. Come out tomorrow. Call this number right now. Come tomorrow for that big $10.95 package. Steak dinner, tax included, roller derby ticket, free parking. See Joan Weston. Have a lot of fun. Join this very exclusive Pioneer Club at the world-famous Stockyards Inn tomorrow. And here goes Patty Cavan. She's been eating at the Stockyards Inn all week.
There goes the combination of Kate Smith and Pearl Bailey. Patty Cavan, Big Mama. Tomorrow night, amphitheater. They'll satiate your stomach. They'll satiate your mind. A big dinner. Roller derby evening. Weston, Cavan. Oh! It's like hitting a punching bag.
Watch Joan Weston.
There you see it. The irresistible force, the immovable object. Down goes the irresistible force.
You know, there is a law in physics, Chet. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Did you see what happened to Joan Weston? Here she comes again. Joan Weston knocks her back and she falls forward.
Joni Weston, been in this game for 18 years. You see the smile on her face. She's in love with her business.
You know, you're watching here today's game from Hammond Civic Center. Come out next Wednesday here. All seats are $3. You can get tickets through Ticketron. You can buy them here at the Hammond Civic Center. Bring the kids. We have 5,000 seats, acres of free parking. We seem to have great games here in Hammond, and this one is no exception. That's next Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. And we got to emphasize the fans of Joliet, Lockport, get out tonight to Romeoville. Help support the Romeoville High School game tonight.
Pioneer girls, 59 Weston, 54 Neibauer, 58 Forbes, 53 Little Sherry Eric, 51 Lana Kasanovich. I love that name, Lana Kasanovich. Kind of rolls off your tongue, gives you a chance to curl back, pucker it up, but good. Come on out and cheer for her.
Right, it's a, actually it's Russian. It means special kind of cooked dog. I think it's a beagle. So next time you go to a Russian restaurant, ask for Lana Kasanovich.
Well, so much for the vocabulary part of our show. There's Antoinette. We'll be talking to her at halftime. Miss Tonette, call me the body. Back in the pack.
Wild action in that pack, Jeff.
Tonette, she's got Vicky Steppe out in front. Here comes the pull-away. One of the most exciting moments in roller derby. The pull-away is moving.
Look at that. We got 3,000 screaming fans here. What a wild, wild game.
We are still locked at 18-14. No points. Under 1 minute, third period. Renegades on top by 4. This first half of play has been devastating. Everything you could ask for. It's been physical. It's been speedy. Jerry, what do you got for us?
Well, you know, there are a lot of kids here tonight, and in a lot of the games in Chicago especially, there are special children's prizes. We said the game tomorrow in Chicago at the amphitheater is at 6 o'clock. Bring the kids. They're going to get home early. They get in for half price. Be sure to take the whole family to the roller derby. It's one game everyone can understand easily. The women cheer just as loud as the men. Pioneers have some big series coming up with the Hawks February 4th in the amphitheater. And by the way, that's the next game at the amphitheater. They're not in Chicago for 2 weeks. Also, the Bay Bombers with Charlie O'Connell will be in later. Be sure and see any of these big games. And here goes Joni Weston.
As opposed to the 4th and 8th periods when the Jams run their full complement, this Jam stops at clock time. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. 1 point. 1 point Pioneers. Weston squeezed on through.
Well, that's the end of the third period. With the score now, the Pioneers leading 15 to the Renegades 13. Let's hear what Bert Weinman has cooked up for you fans.
Well, what have we here? 3 down, 5 to go. 1 remaining. First half of play.
Chad, I gave the wrong score. We ought to correct that. It was the Renegades 18, the Pioneers 15. Our director, Jim Holmes, who is watching this game, I was just testing him, really. And I knew the right score, but Jim, you know, sometimes he falls asleep in the truck.
You're watching the first half right here on Channel 32. Renegades, Chicago Pioneers. Tomorrow's second half, airtime 12 noon, brought to you by Bert Weinman, TV board band. Oh, Riley! I hope the railing isn't injured. Only his hairdresser knows for sure.
I think, look out, here goes Riley. He is going after
Riley
Bob Hine.
And Adame.
He's Bob Hine, of course, and Danny Riley meet in that big match race tomorrow at the amphitheater. The second event of 2. The first one will be Joan Weston and Tonette in a 4-lap race. The second race is 6-lap. You're going to talk to Miss Tonette right at the end of this period. We want all the fans to be sure and stay tuned. Have you thought of your questions yet?
Jerry, you got me hooked on that, but I've only got about 10 minutes left. I got to come up with some doozies. In a way, though, Jerry, one of the advantages about talking to a roller derby skater, I have yet to find one individual who's at a loss for words. They all have a story to tell. On the whip, the Hummer sends out the bald eagle. Armada.
Oh, look at these two.
Woo. Here we go. Riley up high with a hand. Down goes Bob
He
Hine.
caught him unaware. He hit him low and then hit him high, knocked him off balance. That's something to watch for on the track.
Action forming in the pack. Ronnie Robinson, son of Sugar Ray, trained by Buddy Atkinson Sr. Bob Hine going to work on Riley. Up goes the elbow. One more time. Come on, Bald Eagle. Up goes the knee. Get ready. Bango. Oh, I've lost count. We got to be near 10. Up goes the knee again. Oh!
Listen to these fans.
Tremendous camera work right on top of the action. Winding up with a close-in tight shot of Danny Riley. He's going after Hine. The exchange of words.
I get to talk to those two after the telecast tomorrow. Maybe you got some advice for me on that, Chuck. Oh, here they go. Hey, they better say something for that match race tomorrow. That's going to end it all at the amphitheater. Danny Riley, as we mentioned, did beat Ronnie Robinson last Saturday night. You know, there are special group prices in all games. We have a number in a few minutes we'll show you that the fans can call in Chicago to get information on how they can get a group rate. One other thing I want to mention, Chet, most of the mail this week has been about the training school, and you have a statement on that, I know.
Right you are, Jerry Seltzer. In response to numerous inquiries, we're presently scanning the entire Chicagoland area in hopes of finding a site for a training school. Really, seriously, if you have any ideas, just drop us a line, tell us what you have in mind. We do have plans to begin a training school as soon as possible. Meanwhile, our thanks to people like James B. Rogers, Mark Stern, D.L. Acosta, Annette Barnes, Retta Mastriani for all of their input. People, we hope we can help you out. Out on the Jam.
Well, I had a call, just one more thing, Chet. I had a call from Faye Jordan this week, who was also asking about the training school. As soon as we know Fay, you and everyone else will know about it.
Back we are. Action. John Early. Coaching Banner. And he puts Jimmy Nolan down. Up in the pack. Oh! Robinson gives it to Anime. Early moves through. Here comes the whip. Pioneers reaping the harvest. Dallas Everett.
Oh, look out.
Goes to work on Early with the knee, the forearm, using the rail for leverage. And the penalty has been called on Dallas Everett. John Early, a little speedster, 5'7", 170, prone right now at the upper part of the bank track.
Well, I'd like to say, as I started to say before, if you work in a factory or you belong to a club or organization and you'd like to get a whole group together to come to roller derby, almost any game, here is a number you can call in Chicago. Call this number, 329-1328. Call it on Monday and say you've got a group of 25 or more. And by the way, this includes kids. There are special prices for the games coming up in Chicago or Hammond or any of the games in this area. Be sure and see roller derby. See it with your friends. It's great fun. And come out here to Hammond next Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Tonight in Lockport at Romeoville High School at 8 p.m. And see these two go at it tomorrow at the amphitheater at 6 p.m.
Game time, 6 p.m. It's going to be 96 minutes of excitement. I hope you're out there playing to see the amphitheater. Great sight lines. Get yourself out and have a ball.
Oh, look back at that pack. We got it growing back there.
In the pack, Hine and Riley. Eddie Hessen puts down Al Ruiz. We're knotted up, 18-18, 6 minutes left, fourth period, Civic Center in Hammond. We have had ourselves nothing but fun so far. It is a dandy. Oh, get out there and see roller derby. Moving around, the low camera shot. A lot of fans like this shot. I like it too. I think it brings you close up, tight in on the action. A different vantage point. As I was saying earlier, amphitheater, beautiful sight lines, not a bad seat.
Watch Riley here. He's up to something. Look out! Oh, look at that. That's got to be a penalty. That is too much.
There we go.
Well, you can see a lot on television, but you see it all in person. And come out tonight in Lockport, tomorrow in Chicago. 6 o'clock, the last game in Chicago, the series. The Pioneers have won one. The Renegades have won one. The Chicago series will be determined tomorrow. And in addition to the big game, which in itself is enough reason to come, those two big match races, Tonette, Miss Tonette taking on Joan Weston, and Bob Hine taking on Danny Riley. And watch out, Danny Riley. Fans all have their signs here.
A lot of banners all over the Civic Center. These people love their Pioneers. Great support, and why not? Pioneers are loaded with an abundance of stars.
Game all tied up, 18-18.
Weston, Robinson, Hyde, Kasanovich, Skopas, you name it, they have got stars aplenty.
John Harmada's hurt on the infield. That would be a severe blow to the Pioneers if they lose that great, great young skater.
Danny Riley in the sin bin for the Renegades. There's John Early moving out on the jam, following Jimmy Nolan, number 4, light jersey, Renegades. Pioneers in the slightly darker jersey, red and blue with white numerals if you're watching on a color 2. Nolan all by his lonesome, puts the hand up, some type of strategy move to be sure. He's followed by Zolan McNair, and that is number 51, Bill, call me Big Bill Hill. Down goes Hill. Renegades, good offensive opportunity. Skopas got to do yeoman work. Can he fend him off? That is the question. There you see the formulation in the pack. Skopas looking left, looking right. Up goes the elbow. Renegades, I don't think making the proper offensive moves. Seem to be having problems.
Oh, beautiful.
Nothing.
The score
it's
remains
a stalemate. We're 18-18, 3:25 to play, fourth period in Hammond.
You know, we got a lot of fans on this Pioneer Network. See the Chicago Pioneers. If you'd like to get free advance information about the next game in your area, put your name on the Pioneer Roller Derby mailing list. All you have to do is send your name on a postcard to Roller Derby mailing list, P.O. Box 1828, Oakland, California 94604. Be sure and include your zip code number and the station on which you're watching this program. And of course, it is Channel 32, WFLD Chicago, your pioneer roller derby station.
Get yourself the rules, then get yourself on the mailing list. Stay up on top, stay up and up on roller derby. Baby, it's the sport of the 70s. Action aplenty, it's going to get better. 5-1-1-1-8, 51,118 in Chicago's White Sox Park last summer. A crowd that I tell you left so satiated. What kind of thrills they had. They were super. I'm telling you, it's a shame that there couldn't have been 51 million. Oh, what an evening that was.
There goes Tony Smith, and this game is still all knotted up, 18-18. These games are getting closer every game.
Tony Smith, followed by Mike Adamy. Jim Nolan back in the pack. Riley, number 8, light jersey Renegades. There's Nolan moving out by himself, an excellent jammer. He has that sixth sense, that knack of getting out of the pack and making the moves. Mike Adamy, number 3, long tresses, tremendous jammer. Excellent speed and stamina, wiry build. Nolan, Robinson, up goes the elbow. Ronnie Robinson, finest blocker in all of roller derby. He's the finest blocker, period. Roller derby, roller games, you name it. Robinson is top dog. Oh, Riley, an illegal move. We've got to have a penalty call.
They may call no points. I don't know if he committed that penalty before or after the points were scored. That's what the referees are discussing right now. I think they're going to say the points were scored before.
Oh, no.
8 Renegade points.
You've got to be kidding. Jerry Seltzer, I have to call that an out-and-out blow. That occurred before the two skaters had passed Robinson. There should have been a determination. I know our referees have a tough job, but there's an example of Ronnie Robinson doing yeoman work, and because of an illegal maneuver, our team winds up losing 8 points.
Well, the only thing they can do here, of course, they outnumber the Renegades right now 5-4, and Danny Riley comes off and said, Bob Hine, I'm going to get you tomorrow at the amphitheater. A special match race, don't miss it. We don't usually show match races on television, so you really have to come out to the game tomorrow night and see it. We have 38 seconds remaining in this period. If this jam starts, it will go the full 60 seconds, and the Pioneers have a golden opportunity here with Danny Riley in the penalty box.
In the 4th and 8th periods, the jams, of course, run their full complement regardless of block time. A tremendous rule. It adds a great degree of excitement.
Here comes Nick.
Solon McNair, number 6, light jersey, number 5, Al Louise, light jersey. Scopus trying to do the dipsy doodle, giving it the hip fake, working like Gale Sayers. Down goes Nicky Scopus. Renegades trying to increase their margin. They're up by 8 points. There you see it on your screen. Super duper doubleheader, double play. Robinson blocking. Jammer's helmet. Come on, Ronnie. Finally. Oh, Fiber. Woo!
He's got at least 4 or 5.
It's halftime. It's halftime.
Oh, I called that wrong. He did not get credit for those 2 jammers. However, he did pass all 5 players, but he only passed 3 who were ahead of him. They got 3 on the play. So the Pioneers are not really in such bad shape. Chet, of course, you're going down now to talk to Miss Tonette and Joan Weston. The score is the Renegades 26, the Pioneers 21. We have a few seconds here. I'd like to tell the fans about this great paper, the Roller Derby Illustrated. If you'd like to get a free copy, write to Roller Derby Illustrated, Box 17, New York 10001, and get a free copy of this great paper. 26 issues are published during the year. Every 2 weeks you can keep up with all the current games, on all of the skaters, especially here on your own Chicago Pioneers. And Pioneers, we love you more today than yesterday. 3,000 fans here in Hammond today are seeing this. We're going to leave here for just a moment. We'll be back with you, Chet, to have that interview with Joan Weston and Tonette. Here's your score. The Renegades 26, the Pioneers 21. Now this word from Bert Weinman Ford, then back to Chet Kopic.
Tomorrow night in Chicago's International Amphitheater, something we know you fans are going to really love. A 4-lap blocking match race. These are the combatants. Antoinette, Miss Tonette Cattermas, Call Me the Body, the pride and joy of roller games. This, no introduction necessary, of course, Joan Weston, the blonde Amazon, 17 times an All-Star. The combatants going at it tomorrow night, Chicago's International Amphitheater. Miss Tonette, This has been a very rugged series. A lot of bad blood between you and
Now,
Joan
wait a
Weston.
minute. Let me correct it before you even start. Honey. This is no series, no contest. As you can see, our team is the best team in the league as far
Well,
as
would
I'm
you please
concerned.
explain the
Would
fact
you
that the
shut your
Pioneers are
mouth for a
leading
minute?
5-3 right now?
No, I can't explain that fact. I think they pay off the referees. I'm not sure about the whole thing. Maybe I'll get my commissioner down here and look into the matter. As far as I'm concerned, I haven't seen anything out here yet. You can see for yourself who's the greatest team in the league. We are the greatest team. The Renegades, Riley's Renegades. As far as I'm concerned, they have nothing. And especially, I can't even describe what I see standing in front of me right now.
Joan Weston, you've faced upstarts before, like Antoinette Cattermas.
I'm just standing here laughing to myself. That's, quite all right with me.
How will you approach this race tomorrow night?
Just like any other match race. It's 4 laps, and it's legal blocking, and I don't think she'll be able to hang over the rail. And
In other words, you don't foresee any problem with this, do you?
I'm not worried. Put it that way.
Honey, as far as I'm concerned, you should have been retired a long time ago. But since you haven't, I'll do you a favor. If you retire now, you can have a job as my secretary answering my fan mail.
Well, you're only 17 times an All-Star, of course.
Well, see, the only reason that I've stayed around skating as long as I have is because that's the type of talent that's coming in.
Are you impressed at all with this Renegade team?
I've got to be honest, I am impressed with them. They're a good skating team, but as far as being exceptional, I don't feel that they're exceptional. But they are a good skating team.
Would they compare with other teams that you have to face in the International Roller Derby League?
Oh, certainly. All the way down the line. They have the depth. They have the ability in the jamming department. They have good blockers. They have just about, the
And
same.
best of all, honey, we have me on the team, and that's all we need, really. All you've got on your team is rookies, and you, Grandma Joni Weston.
Well, you must consider this quite a privilege tomorrow night to skate against Joni Weston. You're a young skater. Here's an opportunity for you to make a name for yourself.
No, you consider it a privilege. If you want the privilege, honey, you skate against her. She's just your type.
How will you approach this game?
Approach it with my skates on my feet. Well, how do you think? There's no problem. Like I said, no contest. If this is a competition I have to expect from the Roller Derby League, I'm not worried in the least. Honey, I am gorgeous. I am Miss Tonette of the roller games. They call me Body Beautiful. She's over the hill, let's face it. She's been buried under the hill.
Tomorrow night, Chicago's International Amphitheater, 4 laps. They're going to block. It's a match race. Get out there and see it.